Welcome to the Untouched Quest. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Siri, and we're reading the Elfquest comic issue by issue. So if you want to follow the story, you can read Elfquest for free at elfquest.com. You can support this podcast by buying us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TUQ podcast. You will find the link in the show notes. And remember to follow us on your favorite podcast platform.
So today we're going to talk about Shards number 13. The Shard Seekers are making their way around the Citadel underground. We see the positive outcome of group diversity. Two-edged traps are getting more clever. And an act of support no one could have foreseen. And we have a special guest with us today.
I'm Viva. I live in Clinton, New York, where I'm a physics professor at Hamilton College. I've been an Elfquest fan for over 30 years. And I really loved Elfquest as a child. And then in the 90s, I kind of thought that the story was done. I saw the issues were coming out, but to me, it wasn't the story. It wasn't about it didn't seem like it was the fast-hitting story that I was expecting. It seemed like nothing was happening. Like I saw some Dreamtime and I was like, okay, I guess they're fine now. And the issue that reminded me of the fast-paced issues that hooked me in the original request was specifically this issue that we're going to read, Underground. It's definitely a callback to the original war, but it's also completely unique. And that's why I asked you if I could be a guest on this particular episode.
Yeah, that's so fun. Do you remember like what year this issue came out, like originally? Maybe it says on this. Elizabeth has the original issue with her today.
1995.
95, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't buying them in 95. So I found out about this much, much later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the latest issues? Do you still like buy the issues that they are publishing now, or are you like the older ones better?
I'm right back into it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I think the Final Quest and Stargazer's Hunt have been really amazing. Part of it, I think, for me is if it's not Wendy's art, I feel like, to me, these characters are so real. And if they don't look like them, I don't really believe it. It's like, it's just fan fiction to me. And I guess I have a really strong sense of the Elfquest canon. Now, Final Quest has made a real effort to incorporate almost everything and canonize it. And so that makes it more interesting to me now to read the issues that were illustrated by other artists, because I believe it more. Like, this is what happened to Cutter.
Yeah.
As opposed to, this is a story we're going to tell, and there's a character named Suntop, but it's not really Suntop, which is silly. They're made up characters, but to me, they're so real.
Yeah. How did you actually discover Elfquest? Like, did you just pick up a random copy one day, or did a family member make you read it?
My mother read it to me when I was probably 5 and we were visiting a home that had it. And I don't think it clicked for me just yet. And then maybe the following year when I was like 6, a family friend lent me a Father Tree edition of the volume 1 of the original quest. So Fire and Flight, it became really precious to me. It was the thing I reached for when I woke up in the night with a nightmare through my entire childhood.
Yeah, that's really nice though, to have like something to go to.
Yeah. I also started reading it as a child, so I feel you in that one.
Mm-hmm. What did you think with the new what did you call it, the audio movie that came out? Did you like it? Have you listened to it?
Yes, only recently, actually. I listened to it a few weeks ago, and I really enjoyed it. I found it interesting what the additions were, because so that book, to me, I basically have it memorized.
Yeah.
I don't reach for it so often as I just run through it in my head.
Yeah.
And to be able to adjust it and modify it actually felt very comfortable. It could have really hit me the wrong way, of course.
Yeah.
But I could pick up on all the variations, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for us, we had a discussion about the voice actors because their voices were so different in our minds that like their voices didn't fit with what they had in our head.
There was a specific voice we didn't.
I don't remember. There was two that we discussed.
Yeah, but the strongest one was Cutter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And there's probably more people who thinks the same. Same with or movies when they come out. Like the actors doesn't look like your mental image.
And some voices were like spot on for what we imagined.
Yeah.
Cutter sounded very boyish, and there were some moments that I felt like were almost done for comic relief, like the moment that he's sitting outside the tent in the desert and he's just gone into himself, into the now of Wolf Thought. This only appears in the audio book. I don't remember if it's in the novelization.
I don't either.
Somebody kind of pulls him out of it and is like, hey, Cutter, wake up. And he's like, woo. And that was like a little bit silly to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, it's so serious.
Yeah.
And it felt a little bit silly, but I didn't mind so much.
No, that's good though. I thought it didn't like ruin your feeling for it.
I thought it was interesting that they made no attempt to stick to one accent, to have a kind of a cultural, this culture versus that culture. And I'm okay with that. To some extent, I didn't buy that that would be the accurate. It wasn't like I felt like somebody had dropped a microphone into the Sun Village. It definitely felt like a reenactment.
Yeah.
And to that extent, I was fine with it.
That's good. What's your favorite character from the Elfquest universe? Cutter?
Mine too.
Do you have like a why, or is it just like, it's just Cutter?
So to me, Elfquest is about family and tribe. And Cutter is the heart of the family. He's the one who connects it all together.
Yeah.
He's kind of the glue.
Yeah. Actually, I was curious for you, Siri. I know that you love elves, and I don't know what elves would mean to me if I learned about elves before I read Elfquest.
I don't know really like what they would mean to me before Elfquest. That's a hard one though. Like, I thought Elfquest was a video game.
Yes.
Before like reading books, you know.
But you already loved out. Like, there's Lord of the Rings elves. There's Keebler elves living in a treehouse.
Yeah, so they like, for me then, elves were more like small fairy tale creatures, you know, Tinkerbell and like that kind of elves, not like warrior kind of elves like we're reading about now. So like they kind of like switched meaning in a way because they were cute, beautiful, small, almost like preservers.
Yeah.
Right. The pixie.
Yeah, kind of.
Pixie elf. Because I think that there's many different pictures that I have of elves from outside of Elfquest. And to me, Elfquest manages to tie all of those pictures together.
Yeah.
By having the short elves and the tall elves.
That's a really good one because it does like ties all the other fantasy elves together.
And in the Norwegian language, we also have another kind of elf, which is like...
like the Christmas elves.
Yeah, the Christmas elves. And they're not like the Christmas elves you will hear about in like America. They're kind of very mischievous.
Yeah, they're like small gnomes.
Yes, gnomes.
Gnomes. And they like go around and do like mischiefs. You know, like the elf on the shelf kind of stuff.
Yeah, and they live in your barn and they run up into the house, and unless you like put out food for them, they will like harass your household.
Yeah, but that's not really what I think about when I think about elves.
No, I've never done that either, but that's a part of like the picture that we get as Norwegian growing up with the stories about the elves.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Elfquest incorporates that.
It does.
Yeah, but they're very different from like...
After reappearance, there's the man who says, "Shy and secret forest folk, teach me as I sleep. Which trees next day are mine to cut and which are yours to keep?"
Yeah, that's so true. Like, they don't see them, but they're talking to them and looking for signs from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Cutter and Sky always drop the bowl clatter
Yeah.
down the chimney, as if Cutter isn't about to chew anybody out who does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only Cutter is allowed to do that.
They are kind of mischievous in a way towards the humans, the elves. When you say it, like, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think about the set of stories that humans have to tell about the elves. Definitely these recent issues have been quite a shocker for the humans.
Yeah.
Because
shown
they
themselves
haven't seen the warrior elves. They've only seen the hidden elves.
Yeah, and they haven't really seen those either in a lot of years.
Honestly, because the wolf riders slept so long, I think that there must have been other elves involved.
Probably, like, the Go-Backs didn't sleep. Or, like, not all of the Go-Backs died, right? There is still a Go-Back tribe somewhere.
There are still some Go-Backs.
There's elves all over the place.
Yeah.
And in the vast number of years, do we say it? I mean, it doesn't show up in the book as a number, but
yeah, it's
the
10,000
website
years.
says it's 10,000 years.
Yeah,
in 10,000 years, the humans have interacted with the preservers, with the trolls, and with other elves besides the wolf riders. The wolf riders are like the last ones that they would have remembered.
Yeah,
but certainly there could still be some sagas from Little Patch, but I don't know that, like, on Earth, humans have 10,000 years of memory at all.
No, I don't think we have 10,000 years of memory today, like, in our world, so that's a really long time, though. Yeah, do you have any kids?
I have a son. He's going to turn 2 in the next week.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Are you planning to introduce him to Elfquest, or is that just like something you want to keep to yourself?
That's an interesting question. I'm always nervous about introducing people to Elfquest because they're not going to love it as much as I do. And then that hurts me a little.
Yeah.
So, like when I was in high school, I lent some copies of the book to a friend, and then we graduated and I never got them back, to be fair to her. She'd also lent me things that I didn't return to her. So there's this weird thing where now I have some of her books and I'm like, I have this instead of Elfquest. And eventually I just bought replacements.
Yeah.
In fact, I have a lot of hardcover Father Tree Press editions, which is really nice. Because the ones I had from like 5 years old, we had each lent each other things. And then when we graduated from high school, we didn't return them because we were separated. We lived elsewhere. And I was sorry for that. And I had to replace my copy of Elfquest. But then I got hardcover versions that weren't as fallen apart. I mean, I had actually rebound my copy of Fire and Flight. And it had cut a little bit into the inner binding. So it wasn't a great copy.
But it's the copy with the most story for you. Like, it has history for you.
Yeah, memories of reading it.
Yeah, definitely. So it's nice that I have a hardcover copy now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I also got the Dark Horse copy as a lending copy.
Siri has had the option to borrow whichever copies she's wanted, because I have a lot of different issues from the series. But she always chooses the Dark Horse ones just because it's easier for her.
Yeah, you have them all just together.
And she gets mad every time I have a colored copy and she has a gray and white one.
But I could look up the color at elfquest.com too, but yeah.
I would always go for the color.
Me too.
Sometimes I feel the meaning gets like a little lost in black and white because you see like the red in Cutter's eyes and just the dark sending with the red and everything. It's not always so easy to see in the black and white.
Yeah.
But we manage.
It's your choice.
Yeah, but it was really weird. Was it the book number 2 that was like half in colors or something? Book number 2 or 3 was
3,
like
I think.
half in color and half in black and white.
Half of Dreamtime was published in color and half of it was not, even though all of the single issues was in color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
We found out.
Sorry, I'm going to cough.
Just warn us. That's fine. We do that as well. Now, I was very fortunate when I introduced Siri to Elfquest because she loves it as much as I do.
Yeah, like we started just like talking a lot about it on the bus one day, and I was like, hey, we should have a podcast because people around us are laughing about this and they don't even know what we're talking about.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
And just one last thing before we start talking about the issue. You commented that you think Strongbow is better to speak human than the go-backs because Tillit learned them by sending. And that's actually something we didn't think about when we talked about it. Yeah, that
didn't even cross our minds until we read your comment.
Yeah, well, I think that the scene where I say Tyleet, but I don't think I'm right. I think it is Tillit.
we have no idea. We say a lot of names how we think they are because Norwegian pronunciations.
Yeah.
I'll try to say Tillit, and if I say Tyleet, it's
fine. Don't worry about it.
Funny. When I was a kid, for years, I didn't say Kavi. I said Keva.
Oh.
And that's not at all what it says. I don't know why it just wasn't very good at reading, I guess.
Well, I have dyslexia, and I was young. I've never been able to read Aquar's name right because in my head his name was Equaur. And there's a lot of even in Norwegian it doesn't say that.
No, it's not close.
I just gave him a new name for some reason and I never noticed until I became an adult and was like, wait, that's not his name.
I think you noticed one time when we were recording actually because you were like, how do you say his name again?
Yeah. Because
when I was about 10 years old, I audio recorded on a cassette tape. I think it was volume 7, which is The Cry from Beyond. And I was audio recording it for some friends because I didn't think they would enjoy it as much if they had to read it. But I don't think they really got into it. But I think the whole recording, I'm saying Keva instead of Kavi.
That's so fun.
Yeah. Well,
there was another name that I did wrong as well.
It was the troll.
No, it was Sky was his mom because of her Norwegian name.
Sky. Oh, Aisai?
Yeah, because in Norwegian, her name is Høyøyne, which is high eyes, instead of eyes high. So whenever I read it, I just switched it around.
Yeah.
I think it's more poetic in English to make it ungrammatical.
Yeah, but I didn't do it because
it would come first in English, but then to switch it around makes it less of a statement and more of just a symbolic name.
Yeah, but it doesn't really work as a statement or word in Norwegian either.
No.
It sounds like a name. It just, I never were able to realize it didn't say that in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, you read what you want sometimes.
Yeah, I read a lot of weird stuff sometimes.
But we figured also, the troll that lived up in the with the go-backs, we said his name wrong. No, the gray mug or whatever.
Gray mug.
Yeah, because we didn't say it the same way as they said in the audiobook.
Yeah.
I say gray mug, but he didn't live with the.
Yeah, that's what they said in the audiobook. We don't say that.
Gray mug.
Gray mug lived near the Holt.
Yeah, he lived by the Holt.
I thought he was the bad one.
No,
up at the.
No, that's Guttlecrow.
Gray mug had the throne with the lodestone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mixed them up.
He was the one who sent them down the tunnel of golden light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We said Grey Mug.
Also the king who held Equar as a slave.
Yeah.
For about 10,000 years.
Wasn't that the other one?
No.
Oh.
Equar. Rick found Equar at the Holt.
Oh yeah, of course, because Rick came through the cave of the golden light. Or around there. Which
had been cleared out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Probably by Picky, because otherwise, why would somebody travel all the way?
Yeah. I have a point, but the trolls do some things. Like, why would they even make a trap there in the first place? Like, maybe we can fool someone.
It's an entrance to their kingdom. It's an entrance to their kingdom. They would have it protected.
Yeah, just in case someone decided to attack or invade, they could close the tunnel.
Trolls make booby traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something to keep in mind, especially for this issue.
Yes.
Although it's apparently not enough to stop Guttlecraw from coming in and attacking Grey Monk's kingdom.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
how do you pronounce the new human god's name?
Thresh?
Oh, probably Thresh. Maybe that's not it.
It sounds more correct than our pronunciation.
Yeah, that sounded better than Thresh or whatever we say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, do you say Shauna or Shuna?
I say Shuna.
Shuna.
We say Shauna. But we discussed that last time. We're like oh yeah, Shauna or Shuna?
How are we really supposed to pronounce her name?
Yeah.
They should come out with a pronunciation guide for all the names.
Oh, that will be a good one.
Yeah.
I think that exists on the website.
It does?
Oh, but then you probably need to like know how to read the sound description thingy. I'm not that good at that, in the dictionaries.
About characters, who's who? Okay, let's see. Humans. Shuna. Okay, here we go. Shuna. Pronunciation. SHOO-NUH. Shuna. Rhymes with woo-ha, which is not a word. Siri, don't look at this.
No, Siri's not allowed in there.
No.
Yeah, it's completely spoilers.
Yeah, I'm not allowed on Instagram or Facebook group or anything.
No, she's not allowed to follow Elfquest anywhere at the moment.
No.
Yeah, I think that Thornbreak did a lot of the website, but he always checks in with the peonies.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Siri's not allowed in the website. She's allowed in the read section of the website, nowhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. What other things should I look at for pronunciation?
Tresks.
That is an interesting... I don't know if that's a character.
No, it's the a god, a new god, not
maybe,
Gotra, but the new god.
Maybe he's not there.
He's not a character.
Oh.
He's a god.
I say Gotara, and you say Gotra.
Gotra.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of comments
in
of
case
people
you're wondering, Gotara is not in the list of pronunciations.
No,
but I'm loading everything past the H's here. So
they say Gotara in the audio movie as well, so it's probably correct.
Yeah.
We just enjoy it being Gotra.
Yeah, the thing is, there's groups and there's humans, but there isn't human gods as a group.
Yeah, they should have put them in there because it Tresks it's hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can look at the letters again and sound it out. I haven't had to because I just read it for myself. Threksht. It could be voiced. The TH could be voiced, but I don't think so. Threksht. Nope, I think it's got to be unvoiced. Threksht.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of consonants all in a row and one vowel.
Yeah. They should have had a pronunciation guide for that name.
The place where I found it spelled out is on page 154, and it's Shuna's father saying Threksht, which is weird now because...
Yeah, kind of ironic.
Well, Shuna's father is such a man of the Jun.
Yeah.
But the Jun had not yet declared himself the one and only god. Suddenly, monotheism hits the world of two moons.
Yeah.
Or I guess Katara was a monotheistic god. It's quite different from medieval Europe
Yeah.
in that sense. Perhaps more like pharaohs who were gods. But even they didn't consider themselves the one and only gods.
No, they had a lot of gods along with the pharaoh.
Yeah, well, the world of Two Moons is its own thing, and up until now, you could have pretended it was the same as Earth.
Yeah. It resembles
But
Earth.
the June is too big and too powerful and too medieval to be on Earth.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit of a loss for me because it was always possible.
Yeah, it's kind of like
possible that
kind of losing the magic a little bit of imagining that it could be somewhere on Earth.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
even if it had two moons.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not.
But it's fun to try to imagine, like, one day Cutter may be walking the door, though. Like, you know, you never
Oh
know.
my God.
Or come down the chimney, you know, instead of Sana.
I always love the first page of an issue because it's the tableau. It shows us everything. It shows us the situation. It shows us all the characters.
Yeah. I also like the introduction they do for the issues with like the narrating voice without like recapping the whole last issue. They're still like just putting us straight into what's actually happening without saying too much.
Yeah.
They're pretty good with words, I feel.
Yeah, it's exposition, but it's also characterization. I mean, what we get is a little view into Two Edge's thinking.
Yeah. That's actually really cool because Two Edge's mind has always... It's a wonder by itself.
Mm. I wondered though when I read this, is this just Two Edge thinking or is he saying it out loud so the elves and everyone can hear him?
They would react to it. I don't think they can hear.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think so either. It's just him thinking
He's
to
muttering to
himself.
himself.
Yeah.
Just kind of narrating it to us as readers.
And here's the thing that bothers me. It's been 10,000 years. You'd think Two Edge would have grown and changed.
Yeah.
We saw him at a moment when Lita healed him and he could send for the first time.
Yeah.
But I guess she didn't complete her healing of him.
Mm-hmm.
And where does he go from there?
Like,
I think probably Lita brought up for him some pains that he had been protecting himself from.
yeah. And Vinaville hasn't really been playing that big of a part the last 10,000 years. So he has had the opportunity over these years to grow and become his own person, which is what he's trying to do with all of his like games. Figure himself out.
Yeah. But at the same time, he hasn't really, though. Like you see with the traps he had put up, the trolls are like, oh, we know how this works. But he could have come up with new ways to make it like only he knows how this works. Like
These are clearly more complicated traps than we've seen before
Yeah.
in troll tunnels. Right?
Yeah.
We saw Picky cause a cave-in at the entrance to the Tunnel of Golden Light. And we've seen gears and workings mining in Guttlecraw's kingdom.
Yeah. But
Two Edge invented the key, certainly.
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, 10,000 years. And here's Two Edge still kind of wanting to relive the previous Palace War.
Yeah, or like part 2, since the first one didn't go how he wanted it. I don't know. Got mad because they worked together, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
he still got some issues.
One moment.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about who is Two Edge. I can't imagine spending 10,000 years and still kind of obsessing over
The same kind of thing.
the war.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but I understand if you're building your underground kingdom that you put in your booby traps.
yeah. But I always
It's
felt like
the nature of
he's
trolls.
he's kind of obsessing over who am I? Am I elf? Am I troll? Because I can't really be both.
He's not upset about the trolls joining the elves.
No, but he's like obsessed with his identity and what he really is, because it's a lot of times like trolls against elves. And
yeah, I mean, he says right here, I want to know what I want.
Yeah.
So he is capable of almost anything.
Oh yeah.
He is an incredibly brilliant engineer.
He's the one who basically built the whole city, isn't he? Like for the June, the Citadel. He built everything, or gave them the blueprints to build it.
Maybe not the houses, but like the inventions and like their technology all comes from him.
Yeah, he's kind of rushed them into the medieval era.
Yeah.
Technologically.
Yeah. This is where you're going. This is what you're doing now.
It's totally unclear to me what the humans were doing 100 years before this.
I don't know if
to
you've
me, it
seen
seems like
humans 100 years before this.
it seems like the Jun kind of showed up and consolidated power.
Yeah.
He's a warlord.
Yeah.
He didn't inherit his power.
No. I feel like, wasn't it something like the other leader died and he just like took power? Or am I remembering something else? Like with the Jun, the previous leader died and then the Jun just took power, or?
It says in the roadmap that 9,500 years after the disappearance, Two Edge settles under the future Citadel Mound, and he like starts building Citadel Mound and teaming up with the Jun's father eventually.
Oh, okay. So the Jun's father is a powerful person.
Yeah. And have you read Dart and Mender and New Stars, like New Blood 1?
I don't know. New Blood isn't something I've been reading.
I can get it and I can show you the cover. You can see if you know it, because that happened like 300 to 500 years after the disappearance, and there in those issues you can see a human civilization that's quite different.
They go to the Forever Green?
Yes.
I've probably read it online, but maybe only once. And Siri hasn't read it?
She hasn't read it. We will read that whenever I feel like we have to read everything before Final Quest.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because Final Quest makes it all true.
Yeah, so before we start on Final Quest, we have to pick up on everything that Dark Horse skips.
By the way, I have to pick a bone with you. I don't think you read Dreamtime at the right time. I don't think it's published in the right order.
No.
It broke up the battle between Cutter and Rayek from the Shards, and that just doesn't make sense. It's really slow.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I agreed to that because when we finished with Dreamtime, I had kind of forgot where we left Cutter and Rayek, and I was like, oh no, I have to pick up the pace again. But we followed the Dark Horse.
They published it in that order.
No, we didn't really understand that either. And like Siri really struggled, like, what is actually going on here? Where are we in the story? What happened before Dreamtime?
Yeah, I think that all the stories about Rayek should be read immediately before the Shards War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dreamtime feels more like it belongs with like when you're reading about Eyes High and Skywise.
Yeah.
And maybe if you're reading like Little Patch's story.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we can pick bones with why things were put into the Dark Horse issues.
Yeah.
And why some things were left out that maybe should have been there.
Anyway, perhaps back to... So one of the things that's becomes a theme in Elfquest is how much do these characters remember?
Yes.
Because they have been through so much. And Two Edge immediately acknowledges that he remembers leading the elves into the first war for the palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't even sleep the long sleep. He was awake for the 10,000 years. So
yeah.
I doubt that he remembers everything that's happened in his long life.
If he did, he would have an incredible memory.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's been mulling over that war a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that would make sense, though.
spinning repeats, like what happened, what should I have done differently to get the outcome that he wished for.
Yeah. What he really wanted was like some kind of duel.
Yeah. It
Like
was.
what Cutter and Rhea had a very carefully planned out duel so that they could solve their differences.
Yeah.
That's what Two Edge wants.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get it this time either. Like, he's kind of hinting he's leading up to like a big duel again, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, Two Edge has allied himself with a Jun, a human. This is a totally different kind of alliance. But here we have in this tableau that I can look at, mostly elves, 2 trolls, 1 human.
Yeah. And at
It's
the same
still a
time,
mix.
he kind of wants to help Cutter because he wants to,
I don't know.
yeah, like he kind of wants to make his mother angry. And that's why he's helping Cutter.
Oh, interesting. I might have thought it was a fairness thing again. Like, Two Edge has clearly helped the Jun a lot.
Yeah.
The elves are about to go through a whole bunch of booby traps that the Jun didn't set up.
No.
So Two Edge is not helping the elves.
No, but
No.
it's kind of, he's hinted earlier that,
setting up-
like, I will lead you there. I will tell you where to go to the tallest tower, which was kind of a trick. Like, yeah, tallest if you count the underground. And he said before, like, oh, I will not help you anymore because you're not listening to me. So you will have to do this on your own. But I've always got the feeling that it's kind of because he wants to get at his mom in some way. He will say that, well, helping them will annoy my mom. But
Yeah.
annoying my mom is kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get on her bad side. So how do I help them without getting her on her bad side while still making her mad because that's fun?
Well, it's Two Edge though. He has a lot going on in his mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, as soon as they started going through the tunnel and it was just like too easy, they're like, this has to be the wrong one because it's too easy. I was like, no, I think he wants you to believe that so you will go back and choose the other one. So this is the right one because he's like fucking with your head. So like, and it turned out to be that way too. Like, I was like, no, don't go back. This is the right one because he wants you to just like overthink everything.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the scene in The Princess Bride with the poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the poison is in one of the glasses. Would you put it in the glass in front of you or would you put it in the glass in front of me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
How many levels of trickery are we talking about?
Yes.
exactly.
How much can I actually trick you guys? Oh, I
Yeah.
tricked you to go back and into a different tunnel. That was the wrong one. Ho, ho, ho. And then I tricked you into going to a third one. That was the wrong one. And now you have to go into the first one again because I fooled you.
Yeah, but it turns out there is traps in the long one too. It's just like taking longer before you.
Actually
Like,
get to the
yeah.
traps. Yeah.
I'm thinking about who chooses the middle archway. It's Cutter. He just likes to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doesn't
And
it say something that
Clarebrook.
like Clarebrook like supports him and thinks it's that one or something?
I don't know why you would pick it's there's 3 doorways and they have funky monsters on top. And you're like
Yeah.
left, right, or middle.
Oh no, on the first page actually Tristam says Clarebrook thinks it's the right one.
Yeah. But
But
Clarebrook is
it
often
the right, like he answers to Cutter, let's take the middle one, and he's like, yeah, that's the right tunnel, or does he mean Clarebrook thinks let's take the one to the right?
To the right.
We can figure it out because Tristam says I, which means agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
True.
So
Yeah.
the middle
yeah.
one is the correct one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Clarebrook to me always represents wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also looked at her as like a clever elf because she doesn't talk, but when she talks, it makes a lot of sense. Like she only spends energy on saying things that like has meaning. I don't know if that's like her character, but I always looked at her that way.
She's always put
I
to be
agree.
like a very wise woman.
Yeah. I mean, there's a moment where she's different right when One Eye dies.
Yeah, but that's
But
a
other
moment
than
of
that-
like grief and
Yeah.
there's other feelings mixed up in those decisions.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I'm also interested in who's riding with whom, right? So, like, Cutter and Mender are sharing a wolf,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and Strongbow and Krim are sharing a wolf.
Yeah, and Tristan and Clarebrook has their own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going in couples.
No. But could it be like depending on who actually has a wolf? Because Mender and Krim doesn't have a wolf, but all the other ones has a wolf.
That's probably it.
Like they want to ride their own
that makes
wolf
sense.
friend.
So the last two just hitch a hike with two of them.
Yeah. Is
Yeah. Are there 4 wolves, or maybe there's more off scene?
I don't know how many we see like when they are going down the cliff.
I think
if
we see
can
4 when they go down the cliff. 2 first and 2 later.
Yeah. It's actually on the next page. It's really clear how it's all laid out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the 4 of them. But it's do you think Shuna is too heavy to ride on the wolf with any of them?
I'm too scared.
I'm not sure if I
Like-
would dare to ride a wolf either.
True. like
If Cutter showed up in my life with his wolf, I would not get on it.
I would not dare to pet it unless it like begged me to do so.
true that. It's a predator in our eyes. So,
yeah, like riding it is next level to just petting it. So
But what about the trolls? Why aren't they like riding with
I
them?
think they're too heavy.
Probably. Or too fat. Like there's not space for a troll and the elf on the back.
Yeah, also, they're not like tame wolves exactly. Like,
No,
think
they're
about
wild
when Lisa
animals.
first sat on Night Runner.
Yes.
Oh yeah, true.
And Cutter's like, oh, if he tries to bite you, bite him back.
Yeah.
And Lisa's
Yeah, exactly.
probably like, what have I gotten myself into here?
Yeah. Like they are tame to their friends. They're
Yeah.
not tame to everyone.
I thought Krim was starting to like calm down a little when she figured out she was pregnant. But she's the one in this issue like running headfirst into every situation and being like, I want action. But I thought she wanted the cub and wanted the cub to be safe.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, Oh, poke me. I'm trying another tunnel.
I think it's gonna get into her that this is way too easy to actually be the correct one.
Yeah, it does. She runs back and go into the tunnel with all the blades running.
Anywhere she is dangerous.
She wants action.
Also, there is no way that any one of them could have predicted this booby trap with
No.
metal serrated blades. They can't even envision such a thing.
No.
It's so completely foreign to them.
Just the fact that machines can move on their own is very, very foreign to them.
It's even foreign to Shuna as well. Because she's super shocked and be like, those blades are alive. So she hasn't even seen stuff like this before. And she lives with humans that deals with these things. Or maybe not.
Yeah. I wonder if interacting with troll tunnels for Krim is kind of waking up her memories from her youth.
It might be.
He couldn't have been that old during the First Palace War because go-backs aren't that old.
No.
No. They mentioned
Then she
it-
lived, 500 years with the Wolf Riders, slept 10,000 years.
Yeah.
And here she is, I think, embracing her childhood, her youth, her young adulthood, remembering that war. And I think she's pulled in multiple directions. She's pregnant on the one hand. And on the other hand, this is glory.
At the same time, she is pregnant in a war, and you can't really be that careful when you are fighting a war. You have to take chances.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
any tunnel is fancy.
Yeah.
she didn't have to like run back and be like, I need to find some dangerous trap. Like, this is too easy. You know, she could have just like, yeah, let's
These rocks
see
that
where
have-
this...
What's happening to these rocks that have little shinies coming out of them? Are they glowing rocks?
It
I
seems
just
so.
looked at it, yeah, like as lanterns glowing up, glow
Oh
in the
my
dark.
God.
I didn't question that.
I'm
but
really
yeah,
happy for
like,
Two Edge that he's figured all this stuff out.
yeah, I didn't even question that. I was like, yeah, sure, they need lights in this tunnel because it's underground, but yeah, he's clever though.
Yeah.
There are torches. When they say, Krim, come back.
Yeah, like beside the tunnel openings, there are lanterns, but otherwise it seems like there are only these stones on the ground lighting up.
Mm-hmm. But when
So do you think Two Edge is having a good time here? It seems like he goes from being kind of like miffed and like, well, they're gonna have to get back in my good graces. I'm just gonna watch, and then he's like, playmate cutter.
Yeah, I think he's really, really enjoying this.
yeah, it's almost like watching TV for him, I think.
And he have always been very adamant of loving games.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't think he's too happy with the trolls being on Cutter's side because they are solving the puzzles too easy, making it really easy on the elves. Like, especially, I don't understand how they break this
They
steel
can feel the
contraption.
vibrations through the floor.
But he's just like putting his foot there,
But
and
his
then
foot is vibrating.
yeah, but then he's just like smashing it. Couldn't he just like smash it straight ahead? Why does he need to feel the vibrations?
Because it vibrates where the machine is located. He doesn't have to break
Like the
all the floor.
engine.
Yeah. He doesn't need to break the whole floor.
Oh, they break the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I thought
There
they
would
just
have
like
to
broke
be-
parts of the machine.
There would have to be an axle for these wheels to be rotating on,
Yeah.
and maybe some other workings.
Yeah.
Clearly, these two trolls seem to feel very familiar with this.
Yeah, they've obviously seen some similar kind of contraptions with where the mechanisms is hidden under the floor.
But if Two Edge hasn't improved his system in 10,000 years, this will be the same as Two Edge taught all the other trolls.
Oh, Two Edge has definitely been around with Picnose's kingdom.
Yeah.
Picnose
so they,
acknowledges as much.
Yeah.
so they know these things, and
They're not
he should
isolated.
have like come up with new stuff that the other trolls doesn't know about.
Or like just figuring out ways to make the contraption that he has already made bigger and better.
Yeah.
Unless you actually know how to find the motor kind of to this machine, it's very hard to get past it.
True, but Connor has two trolls on his team. Two Edge has known that for a while, so he could have figured out something else, I think.
Well, Two Edge doesn't seem to be in a huff about having the trolls with the elves this time.
No.
I mean, he was in a real huff about it the previous war.
Yeah.
Let's see. So they take out two blades and then they can attack the floor between those two blades.
Yeah. And then the machine stops.
Yeah, we actually can see a tiny bit of the working. You can even see an axle.
Yeah.
And it's satisfying to me. Again, I am a physics professor. I appreciate the engineering.
But there is a lot of details in this comic, so it's really nice to see like the small details in some of the working behind a lot of these things.
Yeah, it's obviously put a lot of thought through the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still thinking about how dark it would be. The elves can see, but just think about Shuna.
True.
She must be.
And the trolls are used to working in dark caves too, so it's only her that kind of struggles.
Yeah, she's probably just relying on the glowing rocks and the occasional torches. They actually, at the bottom of the page, say, look, torchlight, head for it. So it's been a while since they saw a torch.
Yeah.
True.
If I were Shuna, I would be completely terrified.
Yeah, because I've been looking around now to see if I can see any of those glowing stones. There doesn't seem to be any in these last pages since they entered this cave. Or this tunnel.
No,
She's
and
just listening.
and
She's just listening to this.
Yeah, just probably hearing the sound of the metals moving and...
maybe seeing some like small reflection on them from some kind of light on the metal, but
Oh, I'm just noticing now. Two Edge does seem somewhat miffed by Drub and Phlegm, but uppity young mumps, elf lovers, they would interfere. He's not furious.
No, he's not
No.
angry at it. He's just like, oh, of course they would ruin it.
yeah, it's
But,
more like it
well.
went faster than he would imagine. Like
Yeah.
they were probably figuring out themselves, but that
He's
would
en-
have taken
He's
them more
enjoying
time.
seeing them like struggling to figure out how to fix this.
Yeah, on the second trap, the trolls are not there to actually help them, so then it's all the elves basically.
Let's see. Yeah, okay, we're right back where we started. And Krim runs to the third door. Cutter tries to pull rank
Yeah,
and saves Krim.
Yeah, because he can hear or feel it moving, like the wall falling off before she can. She would have been flat if it weren't for Cutter.
yeah, but why? Like, how come he suddenly got so fast? He's trying to stop her, and she's running away, and suddenly he gets so fast that he can save her. Does she stop or something? Or
I think he was already running. Well, maybe not.
since he can catch up to her when this thing is falling down on her instead of catching up with her
He starts
before.
by saying, "Stop, I command you." And that kind of reminds me of how I am with my toddler. If he walks away from me too far, I try to call him back to me, because if I start following him now, it's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's fun.
Of
It's
course.
a hunt.
Yeah. So I kind of hold my ground and I'm like, you come to me. If that doesn't work, then I have to run after him.
Yeah. Because
I can outrun him, though.
You can't just let him run amok just because you're like, I'm not going to run after her. But
Yeah, eventually I'll run after him.
Yeah,
But
you can't
sometimes
do
I'll
it-
try to just get him back to me.
yeah, so that you can stop the game before it starts. But when that doesn't work, you kind of have to intervene.
Mhm.
Yeah, Cutter can definitely outrun. He leaps very quickly. That is a well-known thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're also gaining some strength from the shards nearby.
And it also may also just be the adrenaline in a moment that he can hear that the wall is falling back. That makes him go faster.
Want to
Because,
save her.
yeah, because Krim isn't
Yeah.
running on adrenaline. She's just running.
So
You are
true.
just sadistic.
Yeah.
We're just like, this is a great show. Oh, we have spikes.
Yeah, so she's not running maybe as fast as she can while he's sprinting to save her life.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, she's just going fast because she's like, let's get this party started.
Yeah.
And she also wants to say, I'm calling the shots here. All of you have to follow me.
Yeah.
She's not sprinting.
No, she's just
Cutter is.
having fun. Cutter, though, is running for her life.
Yeah, kind of stupid running so fast into a dark tunnel, knowing there will be traps all over the place, and you don't know what you're running into. She should have taken it a little slower, just to like map out the space first.
Yeah, especially after what they just saw with the blades.
Yeah.
I like that they have so much momentum that they keep sliding.
Yes. And Cutter,
must be
unfortunately,
slow.
slides a little too far.
Yeah, is
A
it like
bed
a
of metal poles.
It's like a rolling
Yeah.
wall floor kind of thing because it's goes on an angle, but then it also says it had some like smelly black stuff on it. Maybe it's like oil.
Grease.
Yeah, grease.
Yeah.
Yeah. To
It's super
prevent even
slippery.
the wolf riders from being able to stop it from rolling.
It was just so weird. Not only is it a bunch of rollers, but it starts flat and then tilts up.
Yeah. So it's first like, oh, you stopped. Great.
So
Fooled ya.
the bottom of this page to me is a little moment of comic relief. Like, this is hilarious. Cutter's like slip sliding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think we kind of need that because the spikes were terrifying. And we're about to get spikes again.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, Cutter is very acrobatic.
Yeah, he just grabs onto the spikes and does a handstand.
And he basically walks on his hands, grabbing the spikes to the end of the spikes. That's you need a lot of strength to walk on your hands. Let alone holding the spikes that way without sliding closer to them.
Yeah.
Look at Cutter's mouth when he lands on the spikes. I've never seen him make that face.
No.
Yeah.
Probably little concentrating mad face. My first instinct when this thing was falling to the spikes was that the preserver could kind of make a
net.
Or a cushion over it, to protect Cutter when falling on them. I don't know if they could grab stuff that fast to cover all the spikes, but
looks like Cutter was faster.
Yeah, but was it when he's crossed the spikes? Was there a button, something that the spikes started to go down again, or
probably just a pressure plate from him hitting the floor at the right place?
Yeah, they never say, right? You see them just go down,
and then the floor under his feet falls away.
Oh, I want to comment on Krim's words, where she says, "This must be the right tunnel. The harder the fight, the sweeter the win." That almost sounds like a go back saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Or their way of fighting, or their way of just doing anything, actually.
Yeah. If it's easy, it's wrong. It has to be a little bit hard. Has to be a challenge.
That's unique to go backs, I think.
Oh yeah.
The Wolf Riders don't feel that way at all.
No.
The Sun Villagers likes it as easy as possible.
Well, they're kind of a complicated culture, right? They have the trial of hand, head, and heart is such a weird cultural thing.
Yeah.
But the audio movie said that was way back in their past. They had been more dueling, and now they'd kind of calmed down.
But they live such kind of a comfortable, safe life that having some dueling is kind of like having games and fun.
Yeah, they don't really have too much that actually endanger them. Just basically the swoots coming.
And lack of food and water, but...
Yeah, but not other stuff. The go-backs always was in a war, and the gliders had their battles within the mountain, but...
And the Wolf Riders with the humans, but there weren't really any humans or trolls in the Sun Village.
Yeah, they're just living peacefully with themselves, I feel. There could be more happening later. But now when the spikes are gone, they didn't really need the sticky stuff. They could have just slide down the rollers. That would be more fun though.
But they started putting the wrap stuff on while Cutter was still crossing the spikes.
So more for Cutter kind of.
The moment you start rolling down the rollers, the spikes are going to come right back up.
Probably.
Maybe, yeah.
And you can see they're retrieving here, and all of the wrap stuff is already on.
Maybe some mechanism pushing them back up if they're rolling. Makes sense, though. Yeah. But still leads them straight back to where they started.
The preservers are applauding Cutter. I've never seen them clap.
That's true, though. Never. But is it maybe more because when the hole opens, he actually grabbed the edge of the hole and pulls him back up?
Yeah.
They're surprised that he could do that.
Or that he actually caught the edge.
Yeah.
Because I don't... they would probably expect him to be able to get up if he caught the edge, but he would need to catch it.
No, that's...
I hadn't realized he caught the edge. I think you're right.
Yeah, you can see his fingers on the edge there. Yeah, otherwise, it would be too easy if he just if the hole was so shallow. that
That was a shallow hole.
that he could just like climb straight up. Like that's a bad design from Two Edge if it was
Yeah,
that.
it would be too bad of a design for Two Edge.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Two Edge is really trying to kill them.
Yeah, he's making an
Stakes are
effort.
high.
Yeah, so I can't imagine that the hole is that shallow. So it has to be because he managed to get a hand grip.
Yeah.
So the left tunnel had the blades run by smoke water. I just want to appreciate smoke water as a word for
Like
steam power.
Yeah.
It took me a while
The right
to like,
one
think what
had-
smoke power was though. When I read this, I was like, what can smoke power mean in their eyes? Like I didn't wrap
Smoke
my head
water.
around it, but yeah, steam.
It's steam powered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The right one had the clay wall spikes that fell, the rollers and the spikes at the bottom, and then the trapdoor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a lot more on the right one than the left one though.
I feel like all the blades was enough.
Yeah, there was a lot of blades. A lot of
Unless
them.
they had found the mechanism, getting through all those blades would have been very hard.
So true. So true.
It's the point where you're like, okay, we turn back, we don't go this way because this is impossible.
Mm.
Which would have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have ended up on the same spot anyway.
Yeah.
Should have just gone with the middle one from the beginning, like they started with. Spend like so much less time trying to survive.
Clearbrook speaks up, and I actually have been thinking a lot about this moment with Clearbrook. So one of the things is that, again, the artistry, when it's not Wendy, it bothers me a little bit because Wendy would never draw Clearbrook this bedraggled.
Yeah.
Clearbrook never has little wispy hairs. That's not what she looks like. She's not scraggly.
No, she's very
No.
like neat.
That's true though. When you mention it, like, doesn't look quite right.
But there's things I appreciate about this. Like, she should be kind of dirty after everything, after like climbing down the rollers covered with preserver fuzz.
Yeah. You should be a little disheveled after all of this
Yeah.
and going through the city and fires, and you shouldn't look perfect.
Yeah, Wendy sees Clearbrook with Wendy's heart.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of those few moments where Clearbrook speaks up and just says, sometimes the right way is the easiest way.
It's very
Which is
true,
a
though.
funny way of saying, told you so.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's very true, though.
It is. And a lot of times it's easy to overthink everything and be like, this is too easy. Like, it can't be this easy, but sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, Two Edge remembers all the way back to when Clearbrook stabbed him.
Yeah.
He remembers that. I guess he would remember that. But it's like Two Edge is trying to kill them, but he's
Yeah.
also just like really relishing in watching them.
Yeah, he's really enjoying it.
Yeah,
He
it's hard.
likes them.
Of
He
course,
does.
it's hard for him to actually predict everything they will say and do. He can predict that they can manage to get through all the booty traps, but not actually how they do it and what they say doing it. And that's the entertainment for him, I think.
Yeah, he wants them to win. He wants them to beat his mom.
He
He's just-
definitely wants them to interact with his mother.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also glad that they went down every tunnel.
Oh, he loves that. He
That's-
loves that he managed to fool them to go into every one of them.
That's more entertainment for him.
Oh
so-
man, like just think they started going down the middle tunnel. He's just like,
Why?
he's gonna
did
have to
they-
wait a few more millennia before
Yeah.
anyone appreciates his
Why did they
steam-powered
Why did I have to
forest
choose that one?
whirling blades.
Yeah.
It's also a better story for us.
Oh,
Absolutely.
of course.
We are Two Edge, right? We watch this with enjoyment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not that easy, this long tunnel, turns out, because they have to get down this high cliff.
Yeah. Oh, I also like how Tree Stump looks at Clearbrook.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
kind
a
of
lot
proud.
of love in his gaze.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, also appreciation for the term mud spirits.
Oh yeah, for the trolls, true. Yeah. But why mud spirits? Like, is it because they're green?
They dig through the dirt.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't it be better like dig spirits or something like that? Mud spirits fit them because they're trolls, but she don't know they are trolls.
Oh, I bet these humans have interacted with the trolls over the last few millennia.
I don't really think the trolls want to show themselves to the humans. So they're like just living underground.
That's true.
They may like have accidentally spotted a troll in the forest from time to time, but they don't really like humans or to be seen.
They're the real hidden ones.
Yes.
They like to keep things.
The elves are terrible about being hidden ones.
They are, because they don't really hide.
They don't know how to hide when they need to.
Yeah, the best way to stay hidden is to be underground.
Yeah. I like it though.
I wonder if Clearbook remembers stabbing Two Edge.
She probably does.
They do remember who Two Edge is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's the one to go running into every battle. So I think that like the act of actually stabbing him,
I think that stuck with her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at him and says, Two Edge, my life mate died because of you.
Yeah.
Stab.
Yeah, so that should be something she remembers.
Yeah, something that like stays with you.
Mm-hmm. I like Two Edge's comment when he's like commenting that Cutter is treating Shauna almost as a pet, because when she falls down the rope, he's like petting her on the head. And it's kind of true though, like they're not treating her 100% as an equal. They are treating her more, kind of as a pet thing.
At the same time, they are many times her elder, so they're also kind of treating her like a child.
Whose wolf is it that bites off the rope?
It doesn't bite off the rope, it breaks.
Oh yeah, it breaks, and then he like bites it to hold on. Smart wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Like on this image, it kind of looks like he
bites it off.
Yeah.
Well, the preserver's saying hold still. Looks like peddling.
Yeah, because he's moving around a little. But whose wolf is it? Do we know?
Hold fast. It's not Strongbow's wolf.
Yeah, they doesn't really.
I think it may be Tree Stump's wolf.
Okay.
That's hold fast.
Checking if there's an index of wolves. I don't think there is. At the top of the page, I really appreciate the complete horror and stunned looks of everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like it's hard to get Strongbow to make that face.
Yeah. Strongbow is usually a very like calm, collected character.
Oh.
The ledge pulling back. That's awful.
Oh, it's pulling. I thought it was like what's it called, like tilting down slowly, so it's getting like on an angle, but it's pulling back. Yeah.
Sure, definitely. It closed behind them, so they're on the ledge, and it's.
Oh yeah, it's pulling back. That makes more sense though. Are Phlegm and Drub siblings or?
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course, because they are Grey Monk's troll, and he basically is the father of it. Yeah, Pig noses. Like he's the father of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're definitely inbreeding the trolls.
Yeah. There were only 3 of them. Now there are a lot.
Yeah. I find it quite fun that he just like pushes her or actually kicks her off the ledge, because he's like, hurry up. We all need to get down.
Yes.
Yeah, she's basically bungee jumping.
Yeah. Yeah. Without the bungee, just grabbing a rope. Which is terrifying. A little bit more
thrill in her life than normal bungee jumping.
Yeah.
Well, the rope is kind of strong though, since it can hold Tree Stump and the wolf at the same time, but was not strong enough to hold just one of the wolves? Or was it because he was moving a lot?
Factory-made rope. It's not factory-made rope. Is it preserver rope?
Maybe.
It may
yeah,
be.
Like, where would they get the rope though if it was not preserver made? Like, would they have
used like twine, plant matter?
But it doesn't really say where they got it from.
No, but they didn't have it, and then suddenly they do.
Yeah.
No, you can see the preservers making it here.
Yeah, on
Where
page 503, on the top corner.
Oh yeah, we make stringy stuff.
Yeah, stringy stuff.
So some of it might be thicker than other parts.
Yeah, there might be weaknesses in it.
Yeah.
It's been compared to silk, preserver silk. So it's strong and soft. It's probably slippery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, they can make it sticky. They can make it sticky or slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume that there were thicker and thinner patches of it.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Like when they make silk as well, it's like part of the thread that's weaker than other parts.
Yeah.
When Flem is falling and he's like yelling for Mender, is it more like, hey Mender, come and be ready for me? Or is it like, Mender, catch me because I'm falling?
No, it's more like, help me when I hit the ground. I need you to heal me.
Yeah.
That's definitely what happens.
Yeah, I couldn't make up my mind because at first I was like, Mender is so small. He cannot catch you. Then he will be flat.
Yeah, I don't think he would ask Mender to catch him. Then it would rather be like elves. Like all of them try to dampen his fall.
Yeah, but they would all be flat anyway because this is a troll.
Yeah, they would be dampening the fall though.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's just like, come and heal me.
Mm-hmm.
His sister appreciates, I think, that he sent her first, even though he kind of just booted her off.
Yeah, but she could grab onto the rope, even if you booted her off, while he just went down face first.
Yeah, he didn't have anything to like soften the fall or slow down or anything.
Yeah.
He just had to go with it.
And then they all gather together. I have to say, I really miss Wendy's art in this moment. It's weird when the human is the prettiest.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Mender's face looks really weird in this picture.
Yeah, and also on the next page, Mender looks a bit weird. I noticed that one when I was reading.
Not that I could do any better.
No, but when you're used to a certain style, you notice it when there's someone else's drawings than Wendy, though.
Yeah, I mean, this artist, I should say these artists, because there's the person inking and the person penciling, chose to make these elves look really bedraggled. That's a choice.
Definitely.
So I would say they're more true to Wendy's style than some other artists are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like reading Ember's story is kind of hard because the artist style is so different that I kind of struggle recognizing the characters.
Yeah, you've showed me some pictures that is not good.
Yeah.
Mm. What kind of animal is it that's like died in these caves? Because like the knuckles that they walk past and that they actually walk.
Isn't it a vertebrae?
Yeah, but like they are so big. I'm like, what animal does it come from? You know, just that size of the bones and the knuckles all over.
Old bones in the world of Two Moons are always fantastic.
Yeah.
I like think of what Mad Quill had.
Yeah, I also thought about Mad Quill. Like, he was huge.
Maybe it is Mad Quill. Twitch has gone and collected Mad Quill to use in his trap. We haven't seen any other like huge animals like this.
It could be a dinosaur backbone.
Yeah, and like I would imagine that Mad Quill's bones would have burned.
But I just noticed them. They're huge. Like the elves are small, yes, but they are still huge. Creating this bridge.
Yeah.
By the way, I imagine that they rested for longer than it looks like. Because once again, it's like they're just like rushing along.
Yeah, it looks like they just sat down for a minute and then were up and running again.
Mm-hmm. It feels like that reading it too, though. I did not have a feeling they had a break. They should have had a break, but
at the same time, like showing pictures of them resting wouldn't be as exciting in this moment.
no.
You'd kind of be like, oh, come on, get on with the story.
But they do take a moment to appreciate Mender.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they do. Like to say that he's exhausted.
Oh, also, Cutter always is so straightforward in his language. He never speaks in a very ethereal way, even when he's talking about something like his magical ability to detect the closeness of the palace shards. He's like, I can almost smell it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
He's always so concrete and down to earth.
Yeah.
Ancient beast bones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably like
I'm picturing
dinosaur.
like dinosaurs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So who is it that actually like sets off the mechanism for the sand timer? Is it Drub, like the troll is just walking on there, or is it Cutter?
No, I think it's Drub because it says pop
Drub.
after Drub steps on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because it's right when they're like considering, should we start doing this?
Yes, and they're like,
And she's
Okay.
like, look, I started the timer. Looks like we're all gonna have to run across now.
yes.
Maybe like have a little council first.
Yeah.
Be like, is this just a normal bridge, or do we think Two Edge has done something with the bridge?
Yeah.
And I don't know how much time the previous page is supposed to take, right? They go from resting to walking. And I get the sense that it's not like the next tunnel. They've been walking among bones for a while,
Yeah.
and then they get to the
tunnels.
bridge.
Yeah, so they are
So
starting to
it
get
would be
quite tired.
reasonable for them to take a rest again before they go on this ninja quest.
Yeah. And like discuss how are we supposed to get over this? What is the smartest?
You know, exchange information before you set off the timer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trolls knowing a lot about troll inventions. What do they think could be the thing with this bridge? It's clearly not just a weird bridge.
And you can't just run over it either, because there is large gaps between each of the bones. So they have to kind of jump and be careful not to fall through.
It's a lot like those Ninja Warrior TV shows.
Oh,
Yeah.
And even Two Edge said, like, it's been so long since he made this bridge. He don't even know how long the timer would take, so they have to hurry up. And everyone except Two makes it past. It's Strongbow and it's Wolf, right? It's his wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gnawbone.
Yeah.
Gnawbone and Strongbow's wolf. I wonder when he attached the rope. I'm kind of looking around, seeing where he's got a rope on some of his arrows.
I wonder if it's just been attached.
Yeah, I was thinking like,
Maybe like when they sat down after the fall for Phlegm.
yeah,
I
I
just took
thought
the leftover rope.
he had that like for a while, since Shauna thought to herself like his rope arrow, like almost
She
like
knew it exists.
Yeah, she's seen it before.
I think it's reasonable for him to anticipate there will be more falls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I would say when you are spelunking, you can kind of expect there to be ups and downs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like it's Two Edge.
He said he had made a lot of traps, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It is very clever. I really appreciate the level of detail that we can see. The sand is going to run out, and then this guillotine blade is going to
Yeah.
cut the ropes that are holding the bones.
Mm-hmm.
It's made very visual for the reader.
Yeah, nothing is like left out to your imagination. You know exactly how this works.
In some ways, that's more of a hard sci-fi approach than a fantasy approach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And imagine this is the part that you were most excited to discuss with us, right? With the Strongbow and
Yeah.
Shuna.
Yeah, as we turn the page, this was the moment where I said, oh my gosh, this is just as new, just as fresh, just as fast-paced as Elfquest ever has been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just as brave.
And it's also just like a lot of surprise in like the action. You would never think that someone actually would be like, hey, just shoot the arrow in my hand and we can pull you up. It's just, I would never imagine doing something like that.
No, it's a very selfless thought of her.
Mm-hmm.
I think these characters are all very, very beloved to me.
Yeah.
The elf characters. I have been watching them through thick and thin, surviving my whole life.
Yeah.
And then Shuna comes along. And in this moment, she just shows so much love, bravery, self-sacrifice, speed, brilliance.
Yeah.
And she's able to gain my love immediately right here. Well, she's been a character for quite a few issues. You know, she's supposed to be like a Joan of Arc character. She's the woman on the horse wearing the armor, inspiring the troops, and with religious visions, right? She is able to better see the ethereal elves than anyone else. But this moment, her speed, her understanding, he's faster than any of the elves in this moment.
Yeah, none of the other elves were
Hutter is frozen.
Yeah, they weren't even thinking about how or where he was supposed to shoot this arrow.
No, not even Strongbow. He had already like taken out his arrow when Shuna said like, here, shoot my arm. Because he was just like, I have to try to save myself.
Yeah. The preservers can slow the fall, but they can't stop it.
Yeah.
And we've kind of seen that already. They've been setting us up for understanding the weight, the strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the preservers are small.
Like we've
and
seen
this is a very deep hole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If he fell down there, even with the softened fall, I don't think we would ever see him again.
No.
And this has been very carefully set up. The rope was already made. They've already fallen. They've already been thinking about how to prepare for falls.
Yeah.
But they lose Gnawbone.
Yeah, but it's harder for a wolf to like grab onto stuff to try to save his life though.
Yeah.
Unless
there's something there for him to bite onto.
Other than Strongbow.
Yeah, he's gone.
Anyway, I forgive the artist for making Shuna more beautiful than even Clarebrook in this issue, because Shuna's beautiful on the inside.
Yeah.
So she's beautiful on the outside for this issue.
Yeah, and it brought back your love for Elfquest. So.
Yeah, I did. I read this online when I read it, and this was the moment where I said, "Oh, it felt like the original Elfquest, like to add a character and have me care about her as much as the characters that comforted me when I had nightmares as a child."
Yeah,
like that took some doing.
Yeah, but they managed to do it.
Yeah, the way they think about how to handle this moment is also just so collective, right? Shuna, she's just gotta put out her hand, and then she's in agony.
Of course, you have a lot of nerve in your hands and in the palm of your hands. So
Hutter grabs the rope, and Tree Stump helps. Watch the slack, or her hand will tear.
Yeah, they're basically all helping.
Everyone is together in this. And Strongbow has one moment to mourn his wolf. By the time he gets to the top, he just says thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a way, I felt that Shuna didn't hesitate to sacrifice her arm because she has seen firsthand what a healer can do. Like, since Lita healed her when she was a kid, she knows that, yes, it would hurt in the moment, but they would try to heal me up straight away because we have Mender. Like,
Yeah.
that kind of makes it less scary to actually sacrifice your hand.
Yeah, and Lita healing Shuna when Shuna was a child also, it changed Shuna in magical ways as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll never be the same as the other humans.
No, she has seen
Her
stuff.
bravery, her speed. Well, for elves to be near humans and humans to be near elves, it will change the humans. I mean, think about how much the preservers and the trolls were affected
Yeah.
by living with the High Ones. They were entirely altered.
Absolutely.
I think that we're seeing Shuna also, she is more than just human.
Yeah, for sure.
But of course, elven superpowers are subtle. It's speed and accuracy with the arrow. It's not always like Rayek style magic.
No. They all have their own kind of magic in a way. Like what their specialty is, even though it is a lot of magic that we can see, like a healer or a rock shaper, or if it's like more subtle, like with Cutter, that he's so fast.
Yeah.
I feel he smells better and has better sight than a lot of the other elves. And Clairbrook, that she's so smart.
Yeah. Strongbow with his eyes and arrows.
They all have like their own specialty in a way. They actually mentioned, though, when now they start to rest and Mender is healing up Shuna, that they are tired and they're basically starving because they haven't been eating for days. So they have actually spent days walking through the tunnel, even though it feels just like hours for us.
Yeah, I think at some point months have to have passed.
Yeah.
But if they didn't eat the entire time they were in Two Edges caves, I mean, Shuna wouldn't be okay.
Cutter is basically crawling up the stairs because he's so tired.
Yeah, they've entered a human area.
But it's
Bookshelf.
also like if they've been running on a lot of adrenaline, that also takes more out of you.
True, yeah. Use a lot of your energy.
Yeah.
But Two Edge is now back on their side, since he's leading them to a kitchen so they can have a big feast.
I figured Two Edge is just as impressed as I was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He thought they were done.
He thought it was a great show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He
loved it.
you.
And I think that the fact that Shona actually just set out her arm and said, "Shoot me," really impressed him.
Absolutely.
He did not expect that.
He doesn't say it. Who could fail to be impressed?
Yeah.
He kind of says that he's impressed when he guides them to the kitchen, because it's basically like, oh, you impressed me, now you deserve to eat. So here is the food, kind of thing. He don't need to say it. He's showing it with his action.
Yeah.
They really should have rested before they crossed the bridge.
Oh,
should
for
have.
sure.
And eaten, their snack bars.
Yeah, if they've done that, they may have been faster over the bridge.
Yeah.
I want to read, though, what Clearbook says, because I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Shuna saved Strongbow. She no fear for what happened. Just do. We no forget.
That also tells how good memory the elves has, that they don't forget. So
Yeah.
basically she's telling that she didn't forget about hitting Two Edge as well with her sword.
Yeah. Well, she's saying we won't forget.
Yeah.
And we have talked about the elves' memory before, how they can remember things from being 5 seconds old.
Yeah, from Skywise issue when he was born. He remembered looking up at the stars.
Oh, well, the elves have a longer gestational period, so they're actually born more capable than humans are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
And-
sense, though, since they're pregnant 2 years.
Yeah, and they have telepathy. They're communicating before they're born. So lots of animals are born more capable than humans are. Lots of
Yeah.
animals are born and they immediately walk.
Oh, yeah.
Humans are kind of weird that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the short one there. We need our parents for a lot of time after we get born.
Two Edge says, "You teach me with my own lessons, elves." A bit of respect for the people you have been torturing and attempting to murder, and you just killed their wolf.
Yeah.
He's never really lived in a tribe situation where you care for each other and help each other.
No, Venka is probably the first elf that he actually loved in the way of loving someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of like his mother, but that's not that kind of love that he's feeling for Venka.
He's scared of his mother.
Yeah.
People with abusive mothers still love them
Yeah.
on some level. It's
Yeah.
still their mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be your
Will's
parent.
An entirely abusive mother.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
always going to be your parent, and a child is always going to hold their parent highly.
Absolutely.
Does it all end here? It could, Cutter, Shard Seeker, if that is your choice. But since you've conquered my tests and traps and discovered the wisdom hidden in each one, you've earned my guidance again. Two Edge likes the pithy quotes from Clearbrook after they survive each thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives him a little more entertainment.
Yeah. And at that, he
Isn't that nice?
yeah. At that, he actually kind of leads them straight into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Strongbow, who just lost his wolf. And there's Scott and Shanti.
He is not happy seeing this troll.
Shoots an arrow straight at Two Edge,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
for once, Strongbow misses his target, but still hits something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hit something more important, I'd say.
Yeah, Two Edge isn't really there.
No.
He's like probably using some kind of mirror system and projecting his view.
He
Yeah.
would
They have
never,
glass now.
and he would never take the chance of being that close because he know how good Strongbow is with the arrow and how they could so easily just jump him and kill him.
Especially when they're so hungry and just like don't think before they act.
Yeah.
Mm.
Imagine killing someone who's over 10,000 years old.
Yes.
Wow, yeah. They haven't mentioned where trolls go when they die, since like go backs or most elves go to the palace, and then wolf riders can choose where they go. Like, will they mention what happens with the trolls when they die? They don't have a palace. You both got so quiet. There's something happening later, is it?
You're asking a question about the future we're not supposed to answer. I'm looking at Elizabeth to see how this works.
It works like this. She asks a question and I just look at her and laugh and she doesn't get
Yeah,
an answer.
if there isn't any spoilers, she will answer. But if it's not, she just like looks
If I
at
can
me.
answer it in a way that is not spoilering, I will.
So yeah, they will probably have something happening to them.
You will find out later, Siri.
Yeah. But yeah, killing someone lived that long, it would feel weird because, like, you know, when you lose something that's been like in your family for many years, it feels like really empty when you lose it. Maybe it feels like the same when someone that old dies.
I mean, Two Edge is the source of all technology on this planet,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah,
He has invented even like steel.
true.
Bright metal. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did he make New Moon? Yeah,
Yes.
of course
Yeah.
he did. He made New Moon. He, like, a world without Two Edge would be a distinctly different world.
Yeah.
And Strongbow was just like,
Mhm.
our friends died, you die too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Two Edge. It was just an
No,
illusion.
Two Edge laughs. Two Edge laughs.
Mm-hmm.
And look, Cutter's on his feet running up the stairs again. That elf runs on adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Like, he was crawling before, now he's running. It's pure adrenaline.
Better take a break. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But now they smell the meat, though. And I like they have this discussion because they're like, oh, I smell meat. But then Teresa is like, oh, but it's burned. And the other one is like, or the troll is like, oh, yeah, but that's the best kind of meat, you know? Like, you need to cook it. But the elves are so used to, like, eating raw meat because they can't make any sounds or smoke or anything cooking meat. So they like it raw. That's really interesting, though.
The trolls are always a little more technological than the elves.
Yeah. If we go back to like the spreadsheet, it actually says approximately when Two-Edge is born. Between 10,000 and 8,000 years before Elfquest 1, Winnowill leaves Blue Mountain, finds the troll, seduces him, and gives birth to Two-Edge. So he's like 20,000 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's an old man.
Yeah.
Old troll. Elf.
He's one of the oldest characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And completely unique. There's no one like him, no one capable like him.
No.
He's a loner.
At the same time, he has so much trauma from being Winnowill's child and being mistreated.
He's a problem.
But he creates a lot of entertainment too.
I understand Strongbow's choice to attempt to kill him.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a war.
He,
on the other hand,
kind of stands in the way. At the same time, kind of helps. Kind of.
which does not make their lives easier.
No.
He doesn't.
He designed the things that destroyed the Holt.
Yeah. He probably wasn't thinking they were going to destroy the Holt, though.
Oh, please.
It was made to cut down trees, and he knows that the elves live in trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was made to be super efficient, so...
Yeah.
And they know which set... that he knows which trees it was meant to cut down, the thorny ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thorny ones, which I guess are magically thorny from like 10,000 years before when Redlance gave them some barbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were made to destroy elves' habitats.
And the Djinn probably said, well, my Lady Venevel wants to cut down the trees over there, so Master Builder, what do you have in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tuatha is like, okay, I'm game for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's get this war started.
Absolutely.
Whenever the elves say citadel, how does it sound in your head?
Citadel?
No.
Citadel. When they mispronounce it.
Yeah.
Citadel.
Yeah, because we have a lot of fun with that because it doesn't sound like that in our heads.
No. I don't know who said it first, but we basically said shitadel in our heads.
Yeah,
like
shitadel.
Shit. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
All your bliss.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I do enjoy the little moment in the lives of the humans.
Being bound.
Like, so I told him what he could do with his 5 sheks, but he, love his soul, he showed me what he could do with his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is always
this girl does not mind revealing himself to
No.
humans.
No,
Booga, booga, booga.
He's having fun.
Yeah.
He's about to eat.
Oh yeah, he's smelling good food, and he probably thinks he can find some golds to steal around this kitchen too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he didn't care about the glowing rocks.
is there still
Those seem like they would be valuable to trolls. I don't know.
Unless
Yeah,
it's something that they have a lot of. I don't know.
Yeah, they might
didn't
have
pick them
them.
up.
No, they didn't even mention them.
I'm trying to think what would be a phosphorescent rock that would continue glowing underground without needing to be recharged in some way.
Yeah, I cannot think about rock that way.
It might be radioactive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe that's the issue. It's a radioactive rock. That's why they don't want it.
I wonder though why they only, like, the preservers only bind up the mouth and the hands for the humans and not preserve them 100%.
They're hungry.
Preservers ever run out of spitty stuff?
Maybe it takes them longer to charge up the...
Yeah, and like they haven't eaten anything since the wolf feathers have either,
Yeah.
so they may be like running low on steam.
True.
I don't know if that happens. I don't think preservers need to sleep.
No, we haven't really seen them sleep.
I don't think
or
they
eat.
need to eat either.
No.
I mean, the preservers don't reproduce. They are truly immortal. I don't know that they could be killed either.
No.
We've never seen a preserver bleed.
No, we've seen them being crushed under super heavy stuff
Yeah.
and they still lived, so...
It was just their wings that were a bit cold.
Yeah.
I think the preservers are magically immortal, but
Yeah.
Could be.
maybe
yeah.
they have an infinite supply of spitty. Maybe the elves want the humans to see this.
Yeah.
Maybe. Scare them a little.
And like just telling them that we're here and that's the reality of life.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What are the trolls doing at the hearth? Are they warming themselves by the fire?
And maybe they think it's like gold behind it, like it was in the human home. They kept their money inside of the fireplace.
Yeah.
They go for food first.
Or if they are cooking something on the fireplace, I don't know.
Yeah, they may have like picked up food from over by the fireplace. Yeah, you can see on the page before there's like this big piece of meat inside of the fireplace. Probably just picking that up.
Oh yeah. They are cooking something in the fire.
Do we get to see Cutter's tongue in the last? Is that Cutter's tongue?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He's sticking it out. Like the emoji, like licking your tongue to the
That's
side.
kind of a silly tongue.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is a nice, restful thing to see them getting to eat and smile and rest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like we should have had more moments like this where they just relax for a moment.
Doesn't feel like they have a lot of time to relax when they are in a war, though.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
No.
And they probably didn't bring enough provisions.
No.
Hopefully they stack up now, though. Yeah, it was nice having you with us.
It was really great having you.
Discussing this issue. I hope you enjoyed, too.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I have been listening to you a lot, and
Thank you.
I'm excited to be a guest on your podcast.
That means a lot to us.
Yeah.
It's really nice to meet people that like listen and to get to talk with other Elfquest fans and
just discuss Elfquest with someone who loves it as much as we do.
yeah.
So thank you so much for Viva for joining us for this episode. She actually reached out to us herself, wanting to discuss this issue with us since she has so many memories with it. If you want to be a guest on this podcast, please reach out to us. We would love to talk to you about Elfquest.
You can message us either on Facebook, comment on one of our posts, or on Instagram, and we will respond to you. So for the next episode, we're going to talk about shards number 14, 15, and 16.
So until next time, go recognize a troll.